Hi. So we're going to do some tapping today. We're going to do tapping on COVID, being pregnant and giving birth during COVID. So what we do before we start tapping is we try to measure how we feel before we start tapping, and then again after we feel. So we have a scale of 0 to 10. So I'm going to go through the points with you, and then after that we're just going to measure on the scale how we feel. So if you know the points, just skip through this and just measure yourself on the scale. So first point's karate chop point. So all these points are meridian endpoints. And here we do the setup statement, which is something like, even though I feel anxious about being pregnant during COVID, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. So we repeat a version of that 3 times. If that statement seems a little bit strong for you, then you can just use something like, I am okay, I honor how I feel, something like that. We move on to top of the head, so that's top of the head here. It's obviously only one side. Eyebrow point, that's both sides. You can do both hands if you want. You can do one hand if you want. Other end of the eyebrow bone, underneath the eye, it's pupil, underneath the nose, underneath the chin, collarbone point. So I do both those points at one time. So that's like little holes there either side. And when you're in public, you can just rub these sometimes if you don't feel comfortable tapping, for example. And then underneath the arm. So that's like the bra line for the women, or 10 centimeters below the armpit. Wrist, these are good points for when you're out in public as well. Don't want to touch your face. Thumb, and all the points on the fingers. All right, so off we go. So I want you just to measure now from 0 to 10. How anxious do you feel being pregnant and giving birth during COVID? So on a scale of 0 to 10, just rate yourself. 2, 5, 7, however anxious you feel at this time. 10. And just take a deep breath. Even though I feel somewhat anxious being pregnant and giving birth during COVID, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I feel somewhat anxious about being pregnant and giving birth during COVID, I honor how I feel. Even though I feel anxious about being pregnant and giving birth during COVID, I choose to let this go now. It is safe for me to let this go. And we move on to the points. Right, so on the top of the head, all this anxiety, eyebrow point, created by this virus, and there's no rule about, how long you can tap, 3, 7 times. All this uncertainty, under eye, all these restrictions, under nose, it's changing my experience of pregnancy. Chin, can't meet up with my friends to talk about the pregnancy. Collarbone, can't hang out with my family. Underneath the arm, no face-to-face support groups. Wrist, my partner can't even come to the appointments. And when I do go to the appointments, everyone's wearing masks, face shields, all this PPE. It feels so weird and impersonal. All these changes happening. And then there's all these announcements in the hospitals about water, no bath, shower, restrictions on how long the partner can be there. Don't know what's real. Well, there's so much worry created by all these changes. It's so impersonal. And what about after the birth? How do we get support? What if we need like a lactation consultant? About mothers groups? How do we stay sane? Finger points? It's so difficult. Top of the head. So isolating. It's hard to know what to do. It's hard to know when not to worry. It's like worry is a sense my only control at the moment. But I know this is not helping me under my nose. Chin. Worry is definitely not helping me. Collarbone. It's probably making me more stressed. Underneath the shoulder, underneath the armpit. And I definitely don't need to feel more stressed. Wrist. Maybe I need to worry less. Thumb. And just worry or just look after myself. Fingers. Spend time with my partner. Nurturing myself, my baby. And not worrying, top of the head, about anything else. Eyebrow, I can't control it anyway. Outer eyebrow, and it makes me feel so powerless. Underneath the eye. And who knows what's going to happen by the time we give birth. Maybe this all will have changed. Underneath the nose. I hope my family can be here for the birth and after. Chin, that will be good support. Collarbone. But I guess if it doesn't change, it's just how it is. Underneath the arm. I guess there's been plenty of people in difficult circumstances who've given birth before. Wrist. Where did they find the courage? Thumb. Maybe I can find that courage too. Fingers. I've been through many things before, and I found the courage to face it, and I was okay. I'll always be okay. Top of the head. Maybe I can just stop worrying about the restrictions and just enjoy my pregnancy. Eyebrow, look after myself. Eyebrow, take the time to nurture our relationship with myself, my partner, underneath the eye, and my baby. Underneath the nose. And just make the most of this time that we have, precious time. Chin, and not worry about what might or might not happen. Collarbone. What's the point anyway? Underneath the arm, I'm sure I can find the courage. Wrist. I choose to relax now. Thumb. I choose to let go of all these worries. Fingers. And all this anxiety. I choose to focus on my pregnancy and my baby. We will get through this, just like everyone else has for thousands of years before us, with or without a pandemic. We can do this. We can definitely do this. We'll be okay. My baby knows how to be born. My body knows how to give birth. We will find a way. Take a deep breath into your heart and let it out. And just go back to that scale of 0 to 10 and just notice in your body how you feel at this moment. Just rate yourself from 0 to 10 and just note whatever, even if it's moved down just 1 point, congratulate yourself. You've done well.